or twice.
Yeah.
I've been supporting in other ways too.
He's the one that on the subtitles.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mim had it down in the comments. He said,
Oh, it's nothing.
without him, I wouldn't.
It only takes 6 hours per video.
Without him, I wouldn't be having subtitles. But anyway, Matt had the idea. Well, do you want to tell him this video?
This was my idea?
Yeah.
Me?
You
Oh.
You had a
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, I guess we were having a conversation about you've been interviewing the different family members that we have, right?
Right.
And you wanted to interview a sibling? You already interviewed Mitchie, right?
No.
No? I'm the first brother?
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, Matt and I were talking, and he had an interest in why not? So, and I done a sibling video before, someone with muscular dystrophy.
Mm-hmm.
That video will be out before this video, so make sure you hit the link down here. And if you want to hear about terrible party and siblings, stick around, like this video, and subscribe. We met new family members. However, the first thing is, how did you feel when I was diagnosed?
I remember, so I was about 10 years old at the time. You were born right before I turned 10 years old, a few months before that. So I'm just shy of 10 years older than you.
Yeah.
And so I was pretty cognizant of everything that was going on at the time. I don't know when you were formally diagnosed, if I heard about it. What?
2 years old.
That was when you were formally diagnosed? It was before you were 2 years old that the doctors had identified some delays, probably with your gross motor development, I would say, because that was like the first thing that probably ever came up. And I think when you came home from Ukraine, we first noticed just the tightness in your muscles. That was the first thing that we noticed. So it was probably around that time. Probably right when you came home was when we kind of knew that you had something, that you had some sort of condition. What we didn't know is whether or not, or was how it would develop as you grew older.
Right.
So I say, to answer your question in a very long and roundabout way, the short answer is basically from the very beginning.
Yeah. How you didn't really feel different about it?
No. No.
No.
Because you were adorable. You're still to this day the cutest baby that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of babies.
Yeah, he's 14, so. Yeah. However, what is different about being a sibling to someone with a disability? What is different to you, if anything?
What's different to me about you versus other people that have a disability?
No, what's different about being a sibling?
Oh, what's different about being a sibling to someone with a disability? Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to say because my only other sibling is Mitch, and he's a boy. So, I mean, I can't compare having a sister who is not disabled to a sister who is disabled.
Right.
But I mean, it's I guess it's just different in the sense, I don't know. It's not really different, any much more different than I expected it to be.
You are habitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a caregiver. Well, yeah, I guess it was different in that way. It was different in the way that I supported you through different caregiving methods and stuff as you grew older, I guess.
Right.
I've just never thought about how it was really different. It's just that's never been a focus for me, honestly. It's kind of hard to answer that question. just kind of accepted you as you were.
Oh, that's good, yeah. Yep. We do a lot of things for the summer move.
Yeah, we
Matt and I both play golf.
do. Mm-hmm.
He plays faster than I do.
Yeah, I rely on it a little bit more.
And we go out and back.
We go to the zoo.
Yep.
We talk about stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, when Anna was talking about, mentioned perspectives that I guess that I wanted to share, I was talking more about, you know, the private discussions that we have where, you know, I fill her up with all of my ideas for better or worse. But maybe it's good to expose that a little bit. It'll keep me in line.
Yep. Listen, what would you tell other siblings that might be going through a diagnosis?
I would say, I think if you have a sibling who's going through a period where they're being diagnosed with a disability, then at that point you're already aware that they have some sort of condition, and you hopefully kind of know what to expect already, because you've been living with them for a long time and you've seen their condition develop, and I would say just continue to accept your sibling for exactly who they are. That's the best thing for your relationship, and it's the best thing for both of you. That's my greatest advice.
You end up relying on your sibling a lot of things.
Of course.
Yeah, like in my case, I can't drive.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we support you and help. All siblings do. And this goes past, you know, a relationship between a non-disabled sibling and a disabled sibling. Just all sibling relationships. Your older siblings are really good sort of support for not parenting, but learning the things that you don't want to learn from your mom and dad.
Yeah.
And also, you know, doing things that you don't want to do with mom and dad. It's fun to be able to hang out with you and to know that, you know, we can go and do things, and you can learn things from me. That's kind of the coolest thing, the thing that I was most excited about when you were born was that I was going to have this sibling who was so much younger than me that I could really teach them and like raise them a little bit. I was super excited about that. And you having the condition that you have, that never changed that dynamic at all.
Right. Definitely. We have to worry about accessibility all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Where we go.
Yeah, but that's a small thing. That's a non-issue.
Yeah, what would you tell people then? What would you tell people if you had the opportunity to tell them something about me? What would you want them to know about me or our relationship?
Let's see, I think our relationship is pretty typical for siblings who are 10 years apart. Other than the fact that, you know, when we hang out, like, I perform different caregiving routines for you. That's really the only difference. Other than that, I think the things that we talk about, the generational divide between the two of us, I think is very typical. I think it plays out in a totally normal way.
Yeah, so too.
And it's interesting because I'm a child of the 90s for sure. I was born in 1991, and Anna was born in 2001. And as we grow older, you know, you can see the stark differences between millennials and Generation Z, right? Is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, just being born and growing up largely before the internet. It was a totally different time.
Yeah. Or TikTok.
Yeah, or TikTok or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, social media, I mean, people didn't even have the internet, like fast, reliable internet in their houses until I was about 10 years old.
Yeah.
We had a BB boop dial-up in the late 90s, and nobody really got, you know, a broadband connection or, you know, internet speeds like we have today until around the year 2000. And that was a significant thing. And then social media didn't even come along until another like almost decade after that. That was around 2006
Right,
when
when
Facebook first
YouTube.
hit. What was that?
YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, when YouTube first came out, I was pretty cynical about it. I was like, what is this crap? Because we were so used to kind of consuming video media in a totally different format, like watching shows on TV and stuff.
DVD.
Yeah, you know, DVDs and everything, and just kind of watching regular TV shows that like have a narrative and all this other stuff, and anything that non-narrative that you were watching was either a documentary or news or something, and so it kind of took a while for me to adjust to YouTube and kind of like adjust my expectations, I guess.
Right.
Because it was so different from any other media that I'd consumed. For a while, I was just like, this is bullshit. Can I swear on the channel? Sorry.
Yeah.
I'll say it. Well, I won't. I'll keep it at that one. That's my one. We'll keep it PG-13.
Yeah. I'm a hello, what would you tell him about me?
Oh, about you. I'm sorry. I get off topic.
No.
About you, I would say you're.
About my family or whatever. However you want to do that.
I guess I keep going back to our sibling relationship because hanging out with you is just like
Right.
what I would expect hanging out with any other sister who's 10 years younger. You know, the things that you're interested in, the things that you talk about, the things that we talk about are pretty much the same, you know?
Right.
And I try to be the older person with the older perspective that's not so dated. Not as dated as mom and dad. Someone who can relate to your life, but also hopefully provide some wisdom.
Yeah, you do. But when I'm asking what do you tell people when people ask about my condition?
I just say that, you know, my sister's disabled, she has cerebral palsy, and that's usually about it. I tell them that you're, other than that, you're an ordinary sister. I mean,
Yeah.
you're into, you know, YouTube and social media, and I mean that's typical of anyone else your age, though.
Right. What do you think about, like, when it comes to disability inclusion in society?
What specifically about disability inclusion in society?
What do you think about it?
What do I think about
Like,
it?
how far have we
I think
come?
we've got a ways to go.
Yeah.
But I like the increased focus that it's that we're seeing. Sorry, the increased focus we're seeing around disability inclusion lately.
Yeah.
I hope it continues to grow.
Like, that award, what was it? The Grammys?
Yeah, the Grammys.
Yeah, about the disability.
Yeah, that was cool. Oh no, that was the Academy Awards,
Oh.
the Oscars.
Oh, awesome.
Right.
That Grammys. Awesome. Yeah. How do you think disability inclusion could be improved?
I think that it could be improved through increased awareness. That's probably where it starts and also where it ends. Because we want inclusion becomes more pervasive when everybody's kind of thinking about what the world is like for a disabled person.
Yeah. Me and my friend who do a podcast about was thinking about that. More and more businesses have to invite people with disabilities when they're building the podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
I would like to see. I like how we definitely need more infrastructure.
Right.
It's nice to see that. I think more infrastructure would obviously give people more freedom, more opportunities, more things they can do, and I think that's a nice physical representation of, you know, kind of how of our disability awareness as a society. But what really counts is people's minds and awareness of a perspective of a person with a disability.
Right. Definitely. some people may don't want to accept them.
I know, and that's bullshit.
Right. And you want me and disability change to see my sibling?
Have my views of disabilities changed? Yeah, definitely, absolutely. I was pretty young when you were born, so I also kind of had just some of the the naivety of youth. And I was lucky. I feel blessed that you came along, 10 years into my life when I was still learning so much about the world around me and still had so much left to learn, because you are a really important part of kind of the perspective that I've developed as an adult. And it's hard to imagine how much different it would be if not for you.
Right,
I can't really imagine.
That's
honestly.
what Papa was saying.
Yeah.
When I interviewed my grandpa, he was like, "Oh, I didn't really accept people with disabilities."
See, he was an adult for a long time who had a fully developed view of the world. And I feel lucky that you came along and you had such a huge impact on me and you were able to shape my understanding of the world around me.
And who was it? There was somebody else on YouTube talking about that same thing, how having a family with disability changes your view because you live it.
Yeah, so it changes it so much. It's I can't really explain how much because it's so ingrained in me. It'd be hard to put my finger on all the little ways that you've changed me. It'd be impossible, honestly. It's just a part of me.
Right. That's interesting because I thought was like, oh yeah, totally. Yeah. But yeah, I hope this video was somewhat helpful.
Yeah.
Or funny.
We try to make it funny.
Yeah. If you have any more questions for Matt, leave them in the comments. And
I would be happy to answer any comments that you guys have. Yeah, ask me any questions and I will do my best to give you a nice, long-winded, roundabout answer.
Yeah. But yeah, do you read my comments?
No, I don't. I subtitle and post and that's it.
I'll read them.
Okay.
And them to you.
Yeah, if you don't have anything nice to say, you can keep it to yourself. Because you're talking to the big brother.
Yeah, so troll, don't be a troll.
Yeah.
Even though a troll.
And if you are, don't let me find out where you live.
But yeah, we hope this video was helpful or funny. We thought I was trying to make a fun video before I got my normal.
Yeah, this is awesome. I feel honored to be on this channel. I've been waiting for my chance.
Yeah, we have way more fun over here, definitely.
And yeah, if you guys want to see me in any more videos, let me know because get me on. I like this. Get me on this channel. Vote me up, please.
If you have any other video ideas of what Matt and I would do, maybe we would try format swing.
Sure, it'd be awesome. Talk about our coffee preferences.
Yeah, maybe we would try your format one.
Sure. You would have to drink that really slow. There's enough caffeine in there for you for like 4 days.
Yeah. So yeah,